Hello friends, welcome to this next video. In this video, we'll be discussing question number 21 to question number 40 of SOLDC exam for the year 2021 and 2022. We have already covered most of the questions in other videos. For this video, you need to refer to few resources apart from the open source content like Swami's handbook, because most of the questions are from topics like FRSR, traveling allowance, which are covered very well in Swami's compilation. And due to copyright issues and convenience, we will not be showing you the snapshot of the book, but we'll be telling you the page number and rule number which you can refer while reading the Swami's handbooks and other resources. So let's begin this video. So question number 21 says, Mr. X and Miss Y, who are two allottees in occupation of separate accommodation allotted under Central Government GPRA Rules 2017 at the same station when they marry each other, they shall be required to surrender one of the accommodations within how many months of their marriage? Now this question was repeated again in 2023. We'll discuss that in the video of 2023 questions. For this, you need to refer to GPRA Rules 2017, in which on page number 35 you will see that 1 month is the limit in which they need to surrender the accommodation, one of the accommodation after their marriage. So correct answer is A. Next question is on Hindi scheme. So for Hindi scheme, there are two PDFs on Ministry of Home website. So the second PDF contains the orders related to Hindi language from July 2005 to December 2021, and the other PDF contains order before this period. So this question says that match list and list 2 and select the correct answer using the code given below. So on the left side you have list 1 where name of the Hindi exam is mentioned, and on second side the amount of award given on passing the exam is given. So if you go to page 106 and 107 of this PDF, you will get the right answer. That's Prabodh exam will get you 1600 rupees. If you pass Praveen, you will get 1500. If you pass Pragya, 2400. And when you pass Hindu stenography exam, you will get the maximum amount of 3000. So as per this, the right answer is A. So this Hindi related questions are a little tricky. Sometimes the questions are very typical, sometimes questions are easy. So what you can do is start from the latest orders, because most of the orders are revision of the past orders, like some amount of allowance has been doubled, some percentages have been increased. So you go in the reverse direction from last to the beginning. In this way you will be able to cover the most recent content, and the chances of attempting the questions from Hindi topic will be more. तो नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन पे चलते हैं. द क्वेश्चन इज़ ऑन फंडामेंटल रूल्स नाउ. तो यहाँ हम अब स्वामी के हैंडबुक यूज़ करेंगे. आई विल टेल यू द पेज नंबर एंड रूल नंबर. So whenever you are watching this video, if you have this book, it will be very handy because you can read the topic in detail. Otherwise, if you don't have the book right now also, I will tell you in brief the solution of the question and you can refer to it later. You can note it down somewhere, and when you get the book you can read the topic in detail. आपको ये देखने से आइडिया आ जाएगा कि आपको किस टॉपिक्स पे ज़्यादा फोकस करना है, बिकॉज टॉपिक्स रिपीट होंगे. ये आप हमारी वीडियोस में देख ही लेंगे. 2021 2022 में जो टॉपिक्स पे क्वेश्चन आए हैं वो 23 में भी आए हैं और आगे भी आएंगे, पहले भी आए थे. सो लेट्स बिगिन दिस क्वेश्चन. इन द कॉन्टेक्स्ट ऑफ फंडामेंटल रूल्स, which of the following are the conditions for training as duty? So for this you need to go to page 7 of Swami's compilation of fundamental rules. This edition is latest edition. available right as on date. On in FR9, the conditions have been stipulated in para 6. So the first statement is training should be in India. That is correct. The period of training should not exceed 1 year. That is also correct. Statement 3 says it should be non-obligatory on the part of the government to send the persons for such training. No, it is obligatory to send such persons on training as per para 6C. Statement 4 says it should be in professional or technical subjects which are normally brought under the provisions relating to study leave. Actually, it should not be in those topics. It should be other than those topics which are covered under study leave. So this statement is also incorrect. So only correct statements are 1 and 2. Hence the right answer is B. So now one question out of the blue we have from DFPR, because 4 सेट होते हैं क्वेश्चन पेपर के. So sometimes when they are shuffling the questions, you can find one question of some other topic coming between the questions of a major topic. So in this question they are asking that powers cannot be redelegated by the administrative ministries to the subordinate authorities in respect of which of the following matters: creation of posts, rating of losses, reappropriation of 5% of the original budget provision. Now the statement 1 is creation of posts. So when you will read DFPR, it is clearly mentioned there that for the post of JS or above rank, cabinet is the authority who has the power to create such posts. It cannot be redelegated. Similarly, for JS and for below JS posts, Department of Expenditure and the Ministry of Finance is the sole authority to do that. Hence, it cannot be redelegated. And if you'll eliminate statement 3, which says reappropriation of 5% of the original budget provision, so this is something which has been delegated to the ministries. I think the limit is more than 5%. I think it's up to 10%. So where power has been delegated. So if you'll eliminate option 3, you'll be left with only two options, which is 1 and 2. So in 1 and 2, the powers given cannot be redelegated. Hence the right answer is C. Next question is from fundamental rules. Now when you will see the book of fundamental rules, you will see that there are a lot of subdivisions: joining time, general conditions of service, foreign service, deputation, suspension removal, pay, additions of pay, appointments, like that. So this question is from general condition of service. Question says that in case a government servant is transferred from a higher post to a lower post on his written request, his pay shall be fixed under. So if we'll go to page 35 under fundamental rule 15, sub rule A, a government servant can request for transfer to a lower post. Hence the right answer is B. Next question. Now some questions in the paper are so difficult that you cannot break your head on solving them and finding out the right sources, और आप सारे टॉपिक्स कवर करने की सोचें कि ये क्वेश्चन सॉल्व नहीं हो रहा है. So some questions will be like there, 10 to 15 questions which cannot be solved however much you prepare. So I'll refer to those questions also in this PDF. So even if I don't tell the source, or if you don't find the source of those questions, don't get panicked. Just try to cover majority of the part, which is around 100 to 110 questions, which are from standard sources and do not involve additional or deep knowledge of the topic. So question number 26 says, which one of the following statements regarding compensatory allowance is not correct? So compensatory allowance includes TA. It does not include. It's asking which is not correct. The question is asking which is not correct. So It includes sumptuary allowance or DA. No, compensatory allowance does not include sumptuary allowance and DA. So this is a question which has been asked from miscellaneous section, and I tried to solve it using reference from All India Service Rules, not from CCS rules. So as per that, option C is the right answer. And it also includes rent-free accommodation, this compensatory allowance. So when you read the rules, you will also find a allowance called city compensatory allowance. So that is also part of that. Next question is again from fundamental supplementary rules. Basically, it's a supplementary rule. It says the traveling allowance of a government servant, both in respect of the journey on transfer to foreign service and the journey on revision therefrom to government service, will be borne by. So this question is from the topic foreign service. In this case, if you go to supplementary rule on page 400 of Swami's handbook, you will find that expenditure will be borne by the foreign employer to whom government servant went on transfer. So even when he was joining the foreign service and when he was coming from the foreign service, in both the cases, foreign employer will bear the cost of expense transfer on journey. Additions of pay. Next question is from the topic additions of pay. Which one of the following is not a characteristic of honorarium? So this question is also asked multiple times. What is fee? What is honorarium? When can we give honorarium? When can we not give honorarium? So the question is asking which is not a characteristic of honorarium. So if you refer to statement 1, it is saying it is granted to a government servant as remuneration for special work of an occasional or intermittent character. So this is the basic definition under fundamental rule 46 subpara B, and you can refer to page 233 of fundamental rules. Then second statement says it should not be paid for work relating to reviewing, reading and transfer of old files, old records. Yes, when you will refer to section 9 under this section of honorarium, you will find that statement B is the condition where honorarium is not paid on page 235. Then again, statement C says it is paid from a source other than the Consolidated Fund of India or Consolidated Fund of State or Consolidated Fund of Union Territory. Generally in Government of India, all the payments are made from CFI of center or state, and you can also read this in page 13 of Fundamental Rule 9. Since this is the incorrect statement, let's also see what is statement D saying. It is saying it should not be paid for supervising the job of vacating the stores and arranging segregations. So this is not something which is a special work, and again you can refer to the next year at point number 15. It is mentioned that it will not be paid in this case, hence D is also right. Hence the only incorrect option is C. Next question is question number 29 on TA rules, where the distance between old headquarters and the new headquarters is more than 2000 km and GS is traveling by air, the GT joining time admissible to him shall be how much? Now if you'll see the rules on join time, 12 days is the maximum time permissible for joining when you're traveling by air in any case, and especially when distance is more than 2000 km. It is little bit more if you travel by road or rail, but it's 12 days, which is the maximum limit for join time if traveling by air. You can refer to page 3, rule 5, sub rule 3 to read more about other cases. Now next question is 30, stepping up of पे. ये क्वेश्चन भी रिपीट होता रहता है. Which of the following would justify stepping up of pay of a senior government servant with that of his junior? थोड़ा मुश्किल क्वेश्चन है. Let's see. Statement 1. So for that you have to refer to Fundamental Rule 22 on cases related to stepping up of pay on page 87 of Swami's handbook in chapter pay. Both the senior and junior government servants should belong to same cadre and the posts in which they have been promoted are identical in the same cadre. Yes, as per para 2a, this is true. Statement 2 says the senior joins the higher post later than the junior for whatsoever reasons, whereby he starts drawing less pay than the junior. So in para 3, subpara D, it says that some instances do not constitute anomaly where stepping of pay is not admissible. So this falls under the same category. So this is incorrect. This does not constitute an anomaly where stepping of pay has to be given. Next statement. The level in the pay matrix of the lower and higher posts in which the senior and junior government servants are entitled to draw pay are identical. So yes, this is also correct as per 2b on page 87. Next statement says the anomaly in pay of the senior and junior government servants is directly as a result of the application of provisions of FR 221A1 read with Rule 13 of CCS RP Revised Pay Rules 2016. So this is also correct as per para 2C. So for this you can refer to page number 64. Let me write it for you here, where this query has been answered. It also gives the reference of Government of India order and OM dated 13 July 2017, where this was clarified. Again, next question is on TA rules. This is also a question where we have to match two lists. So which one of the following pair are correctly matched regarding daily allowance on tour with effect from 1st of July 2017. So this was a order on DA, a 6-page order which helps us in processing most of the TA claims. So if you don't have the order, you can again refer to Swami's handbook, where on page number 42 the details of this order has been given under supplementary rule 49. So the DA for level 14 and above is 7500 rupees per day. So first statement is incorrect. Statement 2 is also incorrect because for level 13 and 12 it is 4500 per day. That makes statement 3 as correct statement. Statement 4 is also right. For 11 22 50 per day is the DA. Hence 3 and 4 are the right pairs. Therefore option D is the right answer. Now this involves some calculation. Question number 34. We have to refer to chapter pay of fundamental rules to get the solution. Now the question says that consider the following pay details of 3 central government officers who are working in pay band 4 with grade pay of 10,000 under 6th pay commission, which is 31st December 2015, last day of 6th pay commission. So if you go to page 53 under fundamental rule 22 and para 1, you can read that the multiplication factor fixed by the government was 2.57, and the government servant was placed in the 7th pay commission matrix based on that multiplication. So to arrive the basic pay of the government servant, we will add the grade pay with the pay in the pay band 4. So let's say for Mr. X we add 10,000, which is the grade pay, to the pay in the pay band, which is 43,000, so it gives us 53,000, and then we multiply it by 2.57, which is the multiplication factor. We get the figure which is 1,13,080. Now if you see, for grade pay of 10,000, the corresponding level in 10th pay commission is 14. You can see here is 14. So in level 14, the minimum cell 1 is 1,44,200. So in case there is no equivalent value here in level 14, we'll put the government servant in the lowest cell of level 14, which is 144. Similarly for Mr. X, the revised basic pay is 1,40,000, so he will also be placed at cell 1 in level 14. And Mr. Z, so here I can see a calculation error in this. It should be 136,210. So let me correct it for you so that you don't make mistake. Okay, so Mr. X, the new basic pay is 136,210, so he'll be placed in cell 1 of level 14. Now Mr. Y, if we multiply it by multiplication factor, his new basic is 1,40,296. Now ideally he should also be placed in cell 1 of cell 14. So what mistake most of the students will do is they will mark this as the right answer, but this is incorrect. As per clarification given by 7th pay commission, to avoid the bunching, they both are not kept in the same level, but the next higher cell, which is 148,500, will be given to Mr. Y. So statement 1 is incorrect. So you can refer to page 59 again of Swami's handbook, page 59 to 60. You can refer to Swami's handbook. Then let's see for Mr. Z. If you multiply his basic pay by multiplication factor, his basic pay is more than 144,200, so he'll be put in next higher cell, which is cell number 2, which is 148,500. So option C is the right answer in this case. Most of the students who are not aware of the clarification will mark A as the right answer, but A is wrong. Here this is also wrong. Here this is wrong. So statement C is the right answer. Let's move on to the next question, which is number 35. An officer drawing pay of 68,000 in cell 13 of level 8 is appointed to a post in level 11, and the post has higher duties and responsibilities. He has a provision of 2 years of probation. In the new post, what will be his pay after successful completion of probation in March 2019? So you can refer to the pay level matrix given at the end of your question paper, or you can refer to the sheet on internet. So a note which I would like to tell you is that on probation, the government servant would draw presumptive pay of the post he was holding earlier, and he will also get increments on that pay. So this is the core concept. On basis of this question has been asked. अगर ये वाला फैक्ट पता होगा, नॉलेज का आइडिया होगा, you can solve this question. Otherwise you will not be able to solve this question. So to have more detail, you can refer to page 113 of Swami's handbook. Under fundamental rule 22b, this whole example has been covered as illustration. So let's begin with date of promotion, which is 1st of March 2017. On date of promotion, he was given one increment and moved to cell number 13 with basic pay of 68,000. Next year, no, not in next year, but in July, his date of next increment, he was given increment again, annual increment. His basic pay becomes 70,000, and he goes to cell number 14. Then again, yearly increment in 2018, he will move to 72,100, cell 15. Then probation is completing in March. Then at that period, his pay will be fixed as per FR 22 1A1, which is on promotion to a post with higher duties and responsibilities. उस केस में एक और इंक्रीमेंट मिलेगा लेवल 8 में, पे हो जाएगा 74,300, और इनको भेज दिया जाएगा लेवल 11 में टू इक्वल और नेक्स्ट हायर सेल. नाउ देयर इज नो इक्वल सेल in level 11, and the next higher cell is having the value of 76,200, and his date of next increment will become 1st of January 2020, because 6 months of qualifying service is required to get increment. Hence the right answer is D, 76,200. I hope you are getting this clearly. Let's move on to the next question, number 36. It's again on allowances. This is also a miscellaneous question. I have not been able to get any open source or government document which talks explicitly about this case. Let's read the question. Which of the following class of government employees is or are eligible for dearness allowance if their pay does not include an element of compensation for increased cost of living? Now, whoever is employed in government, whether on contract or any other category, gets some pay, and that pay has some component of inflation. Whether the whole salary is less or more, that's a separate thing, but the component is always there. So if you have to mark this question and want to take a risk, but my sincere advice is to leave such questions, but still if you want to mark the answer, you can safely assume that all the category of employees get the salary with a component of inflation. Hence, whether on contract or whether ad hoc or whether work charge, they all get a pay with a component of cost of living, which is also called dearness allowance. Hence right answer is D. If anybody of you has access to the official source which talks about this case, please post us in comments for help of other students. Let's move on to the next question. Next question is on pension. Consider the following statements regarding admissibility of dearness relief on pension. Now, three categories of people have been given here. When a pensioner is appointed as governor, when a pensioner is elected as MP, or he is appointed as minister, or he is elected as MP and appointed as speaker. Now it is nowhere mentioned that governor or MP or minister or speaker will get dearness relief on the pension, but under rule 52 of 2 of pension rules 2021, it says that the conditions in which a re-employed pensioner is eligible for dearness relief. So assuming that all these three categories should be eligible for DR on pension. We know about the conditions in case of which DR is given, but rank or category of officers is not mentioned explicitly in these rules. Hence, the right answer is D. Next question 38 is on HRA. So for that you need to refer to HRA compendium by Government of India and NOM, which I will mention the solution. Let's read the question. Which one of the following statements regarding house rent allowance is not correct? Now ये बहुत easy question है. अगर थोड़ा सा एलिमिनेशन लगाएंगे तो कोशिश कर सकते हैं सॉल्व करने की. नॉलेज भी चाहिए होगी थोड़ी बहुत. Statement A says, for the purpose of admissibility of HRA, cities towns have been classified into 3 categories. तो कंपेंडियम के पेज 5 पैरा 2.1 में देखेंगे कि XYZ 3 कैटेगरीज होती हैं स्टेट्स सिटीज़ की, डिपेंडिंग ऑन विच आपको HRA मिलता है. ये तो सदी से चला आ रहा है तो पता ही है आपको. सो ये करेक्ट है. फॉर द ग्रांट ऑफ HRA, सास नगर मोहाली हैज़ बिन ट्रीटेड एट पार विथ चंडीगढ़. तो सास नगर आई थिंक साहिबाबाद या साहिब ऐसे करके कुछ इसका फुल फॉर्म है. सो फॉर दैट if you see an OM dated 7 July 2017, so when after 7 CPC this list of cities was out, in that if you see on page 1 para 6, this Sasnagar was kept at par with Chandigarh. So this is a temporary arrangement. That is why if you'll see the list of cities, if you see that OM, you will see that on one side you have the name of the state, and on the right side you have 2 columns, X and Y. So which cities are classified as X and which cities are classified as Y in that state are mentioned in the OM. The cities which have not been mentioned are by default Z class cities. But in case of Sasnagar, it is a temporary arrangement until further orders on this topic. And this is also true. For the purpose of admissibility of HRA, Mathura, Vrindavan and Saharanpur are included in Y category. So this is something about knowledge. An OM came in February 2020. You can download it from Department of Expenditure website, in which Mathura, Vrindavan and was kept in Y category. For Saharanpur, it was long back it was there, and in 2011 it was kept in Y category. Now the last statement says a government servant on temporary transfer shall be entitled to draw HRA at the same rate for a period up to 180 days. So if you know actually this statement, you don't even need to know first 3 statements. ये वाला HRA का basic rule है कि up till 90 days HRA will be given at the same rate in case of temporary transfer. ये पता होना चाहिए, basic knowledge. आप क्वेश्चन सॉल्व कर सकते हैं. थोड़ा रिस्क तो है, but you can go for this question. Refer to para 4.9 on page 7 for more details of HRA compendium. Let's go to question number 39. So this question deals with topic deputation and delegations abroad under fundamental rules. So it says that which of the following conditions are required to be fulfilled while formulating proposals for training of government servants under the financially aided schemes like Colombo Plan, etc. So this question is covered under Appendix 6 of Fundamental Rules on page 644. So these are the conditions. The statement 1 says government servant should have at least 4 years of service left after conclusion of training. That is true as per para 4.1. He should possess adequate background on the subject in which he would be receiving training. Of course, he should have some background. वरना क्या समझ में आएगा कि क्या पढ़ाया जा रहा है. बेसिक कोर्स नहीं है, एडवांस कोर्स के लिए हम भेज रहे हैं. 4.3 में कवर्ड है. He should be in a permanent employee of Government of India. No, it is not a explicit condition. कुछ ऐसा लिखा नहीं है, क्योंकि वहाँ ये लिखा है कि अगर टेम्प्रेरी है तो ट्रेनिंग ख़त्म होने के बाद या उसकी टेम्प्रेरी सर्विस ख़त्म होने के बाद, ट्रेनिंग ख़त्म होने के बाद 3 साल की उसकी सिर्फ भी टेम्प्रेरी सर्विस बची होनी चाहिए. इट मीन्स कि टेम्प्रेरी एम्प्लॉय भी जा सकता है ऐसी स्कीम्स के अंदर. सो दिस इज़ ऑल्सो इनकरेक्ट. ही शुड हैव कंप्लीटेड 10 years ऑफ सर्विस. इतना ज़रा वेट करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. ऑफिसर्स को 5 years की सर्विस इज इनफ. Hence only 1 and 2 are the correct options. So statement option A is the right answer. थोड़ा मुश्किल क्वेश्चन है. सो एज आई टोल्ड यू अर्लियर कि ऐसे क्वेश्चंस आएंगे. नहीं पढ़ा है छोड़ सकते हैं. एग्ज़ाम में टाइम वेस्ट करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है इन क्वेश्चंस पे. जो क्वेश्चंस ईजिली हो सकते हैं, रिपीटली आए हैं सेलेक्टेड सोर्सेज से और फेमस टॉपिक से, वही आप पहले सॉल्व करें. इन क्वेश्चंस को इतना प्रायोरिटी नहीं दें. Next question is 40. In a central government department, the method followed for promotion in Group A post is selection. Okay. A DPC proposal has been initiated for 8 vacancies that are likely to be available in the junior administrative grade JAG during 2023. The normal zone of consideration of eligible candidates for the purpose shall be how much? Now, for this question, if you go to DPC OM of Department of Promotion and Training, Personnel and Training, you will see that for normal zone of consideration, the number of eligible candidates is 2 into number of vacancies plus 4. So doing the mathematics, it will be how much? 20. So the right answer is 20. You can refer to page 11 para 4.3 of this OM for more details. So this brings us to the end of this video. We'll be covering the remaining questions in the next video. Till then, take care. Bye bye.